Sometimes I get caught up in the house. I grew up in New England, so for me that's not a big deal. But like now living on a tropical island, it's probably better just to be outside because it's so much nicer outside. Like even when it's like a little rainy like this or drizzly, it's fucking nice. So I was reading something on the over on the X boards, and it's the second time I've seen something like this. And I should have screenshotted the thing, but anyway, it said I think it was like, what's up with demons, or where did the demons go? This particular non, I'm assuming he's like a black magician, and he was talking about how he's having a hard time contacting them or talking to them. And it made me think about my experiences here with the demon situation. Like seeing them in people and then making my way over to them, and then they fuck off when I get there, or right before I get there. Now admittedly, that's only happened with 2 people. One guy twice though, and then a female who I have on one of the videos, where you can hear them, carrying on with the occasional Latin word thrown in. Latin, the dead language that they tell you not to learn. Like in school, they used to do that. Like, yeah, it's a dead language. You don't need to know it. It's like, all right, it's only on every building and every important structure in the world, but it's a dead language. Don't learn it. It's like, imagine doing that to anyone, saying that about, their language is dead. Like that's not nice, But anyway, he was mentioning how he's having trouble contacting them and this and that, and like I just said, I was having problems with that. Actually, it's fine. I'm just it was something I'd made a note of, and I was trying to speculate if it is because I've had those angel interactions. Like the drug dealer seeing you talking to the cop thing. But maybe not. Maybe there's something happening where they can't communicate right now or something. I couldn't see why. I think if anything right now in this current period, they should be very active. I know they're here. Like they're still around. I mean, I'm assuming that from seeing some of the photographic evidence, Roger and KC, that shows that these things are just everywhere. They're just hanging around. But if there's a possibility that they might be purposely being quiet or not being able to speak to people, I don't know what that is, but I thought it was interesting. And it was the second time I've seen it, and it ties into the experiences I've been having here. So I was going to go through the mall to get out of the rain, but there's no roof, so it doesn't matter. I always forget too. Again, growing up in New England thing. I was worried about that video I put up the other day about the lizard sighting. I was afraid that I might get hit for like bullying, or because I was a bit caustic about it, telling the guy, fucking lizard and shit. But and again, like, it's one of those situations where like not a lot of people see my videos, but it only takes one person, the wrong person, to see it. Like I've gotten banned before from a video that wasn't even up a day. I had a guy that watches my stuff had downloaded it for me before it was banned, and he sent it over to me to have a copy of it. And there wasn't anything really crazy on it. What I had said is I was talking about the thing, the jabber, and I was just trying to explain what's in it, and I got a medical misinformation ban. I was gone for a week, whatever, and I got a strike, but the strike, I guess, from what they say, goes away in 30 days, so whatever. And I've gotten a lot of claims, copyright claims on like music and stuff, or not a strike, but how they say, because what happens is when I'm out here a lot, I'll walk by someone that is playing music, even if it's someone doing a version of it, like a street busker. There's tons of them here, and I'm like, how could they claim that? Like, it's not the actual recording. But I don't know. I don't care. I just delete the videos. Because if it's anything that was super important, like if I caught something on film or something, then I'd save it, or it would be a different story. I'd just download it. But, you know, it's usually not. One time I got a claim because I was doing a video about something else. Do I hear one? Thought I heard one. I did hear one. Oh, it's just a guy yelling. So, I was doing one in the bathroom, like those old school bathroom ones I still occasionally do. And I had the music playing in the next room. It was The Damned. And I got a claim for that. So it doesn't matter how many eyes you have on your stuff. It just takes, you know, the wrong one. But yeah, so far I haven't heard anything about that. And I haven't gone back to the original video to check if my comments are still there. One of them I made immediately, calling him a lizard. And by the time I pushed post, I went to edit it because I thought it was too caustic, and I'm like, well, I gotta make a joke in here somewhere to make it at least seem like, you know, it's not too crazy, but it was gone. So there was no swearing in it. There might have been, fuck might have been in it, but that's okay. I swear all the time anyway. There's nothing in it, what I'm saying, that would be against the terms of service or anything like that. It was just I was saying that he was a lizard. And now it was so fast that couldn't have been a person. You know, it wasn't, and the stream had been up for like a couple hours anyway. I think it came to it a couple hours after it went up. So they must have something in the algorithm about lizards. And they do, if you talk about them. Like on Richard Bruce's site there, a lot of his videos have this little disclaimer like they do with the COVID stuff. And it's like, reptilians are a conspiracy theory and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, if it is, right, then why do you feel the need to have to tag all the videos that talk about it with this stuff? It's just, it makes it look like it's a real thing. You know, and it is a real thing, but it makes you guilty when you do stuff like that. They do that with flat earthers too. It's like, flat earth is not real. It's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, because conspiracy theories, right, they're all just so crazy, right? You know, that's, as now we're seeing these people with their pandemic amnesty, you know. But that was all conspiracy theory, right? I can't try to figure out logic when it comes to whatever some of these people are. You can't even say no. I wouldn't even say normie, because I mean that's not it either. What am I going to do here? I'm going to go path the least resistance right here. On that too, I saw somewhere on the same board X, some guy was had done the math, or what he thought the math would be, and I've done this myself before, about percentage of people that have divinity or know what's going on. I forget what I based mine on. Was I doing the 400,000 thing from the Bible? I might have been doing that. I forget. But his calculations came out to like 89% fake people. And there's a lot of discussion, and there has been for a while, about exactly what they are. The people, most of the people that occupy the space out here that you see in the street. And I mean, of course, there's the NPC term, and that is pretty apt. I mean, there is only a certain amount of things you're going to get out of these people. There's certain subjects that if you brought up, you just get that blank sort of fluoride stare. You know what I mean? So there is like a limit to what they can do. It's very much like scripts. Like they have a script that they can choose from. These things, they pop up in their OS and, you know, tell them what they can and should say. It's trippy, you know. I'm still trying to figure that out, you know, me and a lot of other people. One thing, though, that I think I've kind of mastered after obsessing about it here for a couple of years, I have tons of videos on it, experiments I did about sleep. I was trying to get it down to the bare minimum of how long you have to be down. And the other thing I started thinking about, too, is like when you go down, when you go to sleep, you are connected to your body still, but you leave your body. Some of you stays in there, obviously. And I was wondering just how much of that, how much of you is left behind. If you didn't have that cord, or that cord was severed somehow, you would die. The body would die. You wouldn't die. You'll be fine. You can't die. But the body would be useless. And last night I was like laying with my wife. She's sleeping, and I'm just kind of like how my arms are on her, holding her, breathing and stuff. And I'm like thinking, I'm just kind of holding a body because she's really not in here right now. You know, the brain is running the mechanics of things, like the breathing and all the other associated programs that have to run with it. But she's not really in there. It's just something weird to think about when I'm sitting there, like she's up somewhere else in some other place. But yeah, so anyway, I was having trouble sleeping, which isn't a new problem. It's been going on since I was a kid. But last week, I went 4 days with just little kind of naps. And I did the same thing this week. I slept last night a little bit, like for a couple hours, for the first time in almost 4 days ago. No, 3 days. Is it 3 days? I don't know. Math. The world of math. But yeah, it seems like I'm not sleeping much, but usually when I don't sleep much, I become very irritable, you know, easily angered. My limbic system starts getting gooey, you know, I have trouble getting around. None of that has been happening with these, the past few weeks when I haven't been able to sleep. I haven't had any of that happening. And I'm on no stimulants except for like caffeine and nicotine. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about. And, you know, the second day last week into it, I was telling my wife, like, yeah, I'm not sleeping, but I'm also not having a meltdown about it like I normally do. I didn't feel exactly 100% fine, but something's happening where it's, it feels like it wants me to be awake, which is good. I mean, that's kind of what I think too, and what I wanted too. I don't like to have to lose all those hours. And if I could get that time when you have to be out of your body down as to little as I can, that would be optimal. Yeah, I still got a lot of dogs on the fire. I'm going to go in the house a little bit, get out of the rain here, and turn some of the dogs over. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.